Good morning or good afternoon. We're just about, in fact, we are good afternoon. It's great to be here. We are here for the semi-finals of the ACL Under-19 competition and a big first-up game. Pakistan Sultans, who for a large portion of yesterday's semi were looking like they'd finish on top in Pool A, but they were nipped at the end by the Indian team. So they play the Lankan Lions, who finished on top in Group B in one semi-final for the right to play in Monday's final. Warm day today, 29 degrees. My name's Dan Lonigan. Grant O'Hara's with me. We'll have a chat to Grant in just a sec. But let's find out who's batting first, who's won the toss. Out to Suhas in the middle.
A cloudless sky here in Melbourne and a gentle breeze. Hello and welcome. You're watching ACL Under-19. It's toss time for the first semi-final. The Lankan Lions are ready to roar against...
Who's batting first, who's won one semi-final for the right to play. The Lankan Sultans, who for a large... It's great to be here. We are here. Good morning or good afternoon. We're just about, in fact, we are good afternoon. It's great to be here. We are here for the semi-finals of the ACL Under-19 competition and a big first-up game. Pakistan Sultans, who for a large portion of yesterday's semi were looking like they'd finish on top in Pool A, but they were nipped at the end by the...
A cloudless ball. It's a roller indeed. What is it?
It's a head.
Head.
Yes, it is.
What have you decided to do and why, Sujan?
We're going to have a bat first.
Do you think the surface will change as the day progresses, sun beats down?
Definitely, yeah, it'll get a bit more harder, but I think there'll be pretty much a lot in the pitch and I back our bowlers. So.
Boy, do you back your bowlers. Last game was, of course, a confidence booster for you. Any changes in the balance after that?
In like the team? We just brought in an extra spinner, off spinner in, and yeah, that's all.
What's a good total, yeah?
I think 135, 140, always a good total over here, so see how it goes.
It was a fantastic game, Sujan.
Thank you.
Rafi,
The coin fallen in your favor.
what would you have done looking at this surface?
We probably would have bowled first.
So the toss becomes redundant for you, huh? Said that. Do you think any changes in the side for today in counter? Or you want to maintain the balance?
Now we have one change. Aram Farouk comes in. We just feel like we need an extra option for spin during the middle overs.
Khan said 130. Be happy putting up on that ball. Be happy chasing that much? Or do you think you want to restrict them within that?
I think we probably want to keep them just under 130, but obviously anything over 130, I back our batsmen and our team to get it done.
Semi-final is something that you always enjoy. All the very best for this one.
Thank you so much.
So the news from the centre, the Lankan Lions have won the toss and they want to be putting the runs on the board.
Thank you, Suhas. The Lankan Lions have won the toss, elected to bat. Their batting has been an area that's let them down, but they're unbeaten in the tournament so far. Good morning or good afternoon, Grant. Beautiful day, 29 degrees, and we're looking forward to the semis.
Good afternoon, Dan. And an area that hasn't been letting them down is their bowling and fielding.
Yeah.
What they've missed out in the batting, they've really picked up in bowling and fielding. So it wasn't a surprise to me when they won the toss and decided to post a score, because the way they've been going about their cricket, it's almost as if any score that they post, they're really confident that they can defend. They've bucked the trend. There's only been 3 teams that have won the toss and batted first in this competition so far, and the Lankan Lions have done that in one of the really important games, the semi-finals.
And good news for Pakistan, one of the young boys who played in the Under-19 tournament that you and I both commentated up in Noosa a couple of years ago, and I caught the plane up with them. Abdul Rafi, who is their captain. He hasn't bowled in this tournament so far, but he was very, very quick, I remember, up at Noosa. And he plays at the Essendon Premier Cricket Club. Have had a pretty tough year this year, the Bombers. And he is going to bowl for the first time in this tournament. We'll kick things off from this southern end. So look forward to seeing how he goes. So we're ready to get underway. Helen Gamawua, the captain, who's going to face the opposition captain, and Harish Sawuthra is the other opener. And one that got away for Pakistan yesterday with 24 off that second last over from India in the truncated clash of 16 overs aside between the top 2 teams in Pool A. And India will play the Afghanistan Eagles this afternoon. Indian Tigers. So look forward to seeing Rafi. I remember very, very quick. slip in place. And a wide straight away.
And there's an indication of how quick this wicket may be. It's a fresh strip. Just speaking to Luke, the groundsman, and he had always earmarked this wicket for the semi-final and the final. Wicket yesterday was just starting to peter out. It was very good for spin, but as we said yesterday, there's every chance that a seaming wicket will present itself today and be good for the quicks.
Another one on the leg stump, and it's flicked down a fine leg, and he's gone. Flicked it off his toes, nonchalantly the skipper. Poor dismissal, and another poor start for the Lankan Lions in regard to their top order. And they are 1 for none. Incredible.
Gee, he got every piece of that, went right down to fine leg, who took a really comfortable catch in the end, but that's outside leg stump, would have been another wide. But in this format, of course, you're looking to get off the mark, you're looking to flick down to leg, catch in the outfield there by the deep fine leg. It went straight to him, a little bit unlucky for the batter. Any other day that could have gone a couple of metres either side, and he's away with 4 runs, and that's cricket, unfortunately.
And it's a very slow walk back to the marquee for the captain, who really hasn't got going with the bat in this tournament. And they just need some scores. They've had no one get more than 30 in any of their innings, the Lankan Lions, but as Grant has said, their bowling and their fielding has been top notch.
The referee going to take that wicket for sure. Why not?
Good to have him back in the bowling attack for Pakistan. Just gives them a little bit more strength after the narrow loss yesterday. Lenny Wilton, who gets beaten by a good one outside the off stump. Missed out on the Casey South Melbourne first 11 team, playing in the semis tomorrow.
The referee finds his line and length. That was a nice carry through to the keeper. So we're just on pitch alert at the moment, just to see who it's going to benefit more, the seamers or the spinners, or maybe even both. Good wicket.
The two fielders out, Whitish third man and fine leg respectively. They'll get a run. There might be trouble though if he hits. He's out. He's out. Oh! He just pushed him to the onside, Wilson. The return was an absolute ripper from short straight mid-wicket. And he had a look side on, and he has hit the stump furthest away, and the bail has been dislodged. Wilton's out for a duck. Sri Lanka in a world of hurt. They're 2 for none.
And what a start by the Pakistani Sultans. Pick up left hand underarm and well out of his crease. He just kept going, didn't he?
He did, but he gave a cursory glance at the umpire. If we can get a look at the replay again, he had to run around the bowler. And did that lose him a metre or two in his endeavours to get there? But anyway, he was out. It was a great piece of fielding. They've taken a good catch and they're fielding sharp early. I watched them in the warm-up. With their coach, and he wasn't too impressed that they were dropping a few outfield catches. Focus, boys, he said, focus. Well, I'll tell you what, Grant, they're focused in the first over.
They're focused, all right. Everything had to go right when you're taking a quick single like that. And by that I mean maybe a misfield, maybe a miss shy at the stumps, but a direct hit.
It was the pressure of losing it. Yeah,
yep.
Sorry. Pressure of losing an early wicket. That's a good delivery. You love having the skipper back in the bowling attack as it's across the left-hander who had a bit of a fend outside the off stump.
And we've got very warm conditions. It's going to be a high of 29, maybe even higher today in Melbourne. So this wicket will have a little bit in it early, and then as the sun dries everything out, really top wicket.
Two for one, and it's taken low by Zandberg, who's the wicket-keeper today. Did want to get his pads behind that one. Now, the last time I saw these two teams play, Reynard Farouk was the captain and had a pretty good tournament, and Abdul Rafa won a couple of Man of the Match awards. Both year 10 at school continued their upward trajectory in the game. Swing and a miss outside the off stump. Good bowling across the left-hander.
And that's the end of a really good start. After a couple of wide balls down the leg side, one of which picked up a wicket. All honours go to the Pakistani Sultans after over 1. 2 for 2 with that run out.
As you say though, Grant, if they can conjure, it's a long way to go yet of course, but 110, 115, they're always in the game, aren't they, with their defensive structures and the way they bowl the Lankan Lions, but their batting just needs to improve. It's been a real issue for them whole tournament. Needs someone to get in and get a decent score, maybe a 50, and a teammate stay with him, which we've seen a few times in the tournament. If someone gets a good score, there's been someone at the other end has dropped anchor.
Sadiq.
Batted well yesterday, got some handy runs at the end when the spinners had tied them down. Yes, wide of the off stump.
So this is the first over from this northern end. And from what I could see from the wicket then, came through very truly. It's a really nice wicket.
He's done an unbelievably good job, Luke. Loses his radar there. Zandberg does well to ensure it doesn't get past him, but gives away a wide. Afzal Sadiq. It's 2 for 2. A run out and a player flicking one down to wideish fine leg. Oh, another return. That is
another
close.
Direct hit. Oh boy, they're on fire, the Pakistani Sultans.
They cannot miss.
2 direct hits in a row. Diving, full length. Ash Burrows has gone upstairs to take a look.
Well, they had to go, didn't they? I mean, they had the right intent, Grant, in playing the ball to mid-on.
Out.
Yeah, he's short of his ground.
Even despite the big dive, and now that's 2 run-outs for the Lankan Lions, and the Pakistani Sultans are playing terrific cricket.
Abbas Zakaria wasn't quick enough to get there.
He's given out. The Pakistani Sultans rejoice.
Incredible. It's funny, isn't it? You can be in practice and get everything wrong, and then all of a sudden you turn up for the match and be so switched on and everything goes right. 2 direct hits, and they weren't bad singles that they were taking. I mean, they were just taking on the fielders, and they took them on, but they came off second best on both occasions, the Lankan Lions.
He's halfway down the wicket by the time the fielder picks up the ball. Who's the fielder? Did I see Tariq? Talar.
He batted well yesterday.
Yeah, Talar did bat well. Number 63, Talar. Good fielding, Talar.
They're in trouble here. Max Diaz, yes. 3 for 2, Grant.
And 2 run-outs in that.
Direct hits.
Good catch down a fine leg.
Yep. So Afzal Sadiq. Farouk at slip. Oh, Phil for a catch behind, looking to work that through the onside. It might have taken the flap of the paddle, the thigh pad on the way through if there was noise. It was more interest from Farouk at slip and Zamberg, the wicket keeper.
And to say that the Sultans have their tails up at the moment would be understating the confidence that this young team is bringing into this game.
He advances and on this occasion gets plenty of it, Max Diaz. That might break the shackles as he slams it over mid-wicket for a big, big 6.
Maximilian Diaz, what a lovely shot. A couple of steps down the wicket, follow through. And what a start we've had. We've had 6s, we've had catches, we've had run-outs.
3 for 9. This is ballooned in the air and another throw at the stumps just misses, and I reckon that would have been the 3rd direct hit run out.
3 in a row would have been, that's asking a lot. Picks up, maybe, side on. It was very, very close. And hands go to heads. And I feel like the Lankan Lions are on self-destruct at the moment.
Salwathura hit that 6, of course, and because they had crossed with that run out, and Max Diaz to face now. And Salwathura, he wasn't far away from being caught as he looked very uncomfortable ballooning that off his thigh pad, and then was nearly run out. Oh, that's good bowling. Right across the left armour, or left hand up from the right armour, and he was hanging the bat out to dry and didn't miss by too much. So 2 overs gone, and it's 3 for 9. 2 of the most action-packed overs we've seen in this wonderful tournament so far, the ACL Under-19 tournament being played at the Lindale Cricket Club in the Noble Park North suburb of Melbourne.
One thing I've really liked about the evolution of T20, there have been 2 things. One is the quality of the fielding, and it's really elevated.
Here's Rafe, and it's sliced over the infield. Gave Salwathura width, and he manages to find the cover boundary. They need boundaries, they need runs.
The second one's been the innovation of these new strokes that have now come into the game. We saw one of the teams yesterday, I thought they, if they could reverse or switch hit or pick up some of these new strokes, they would have been able to clear the fielders and invented something and created some runs when they weren't coming.
Just received the best ham, cheese and tomato sandwich again. I will shortly. They do a great job. Just love my ham, cheese and tomato sandwiches, like the great Shane Warne. There's a wide there. Late great Shane Warne.
Yeah, you'd have something in common with him.
That's all. Absolutely nothing else. Whether it be nightlife, whether it be cricketing ability, whether it would be, you know what else? 3 for 14.
What else, Dan? What are you
talking about? Shane was very popular.
Oh, okay.
Slip in place. Rafe bowls, it's cut, and they've got that stacked offside field, praying for the ball to get in their direction. And they're all there, very alert. Point, cover, point, extra cover, mid-off. Very close to each other. Deep gully, mid-on.
Stacked offside field, almost
Yeah.
suffocating the batter.
Very attacking, isn't it? It's exactly what they need.
Yeah, it's good captaincy. It's good bowling if it stays out that off stump, fourth stump line.
Captain bowling at the moment, Rafa. And this is on the bounce, driving. You hear them say catch, but it gets to the man on the bounce at mid-off. He's obviously bowling within himself a bit. He's had a bit of an injury, Abdul Rafa. I remember how quick he bowled at Noosa when we did the tournament 2 years ago, Grant. I thought, gee, we've got a great prospect here, and we still do, but just obviously when you're a fast bowler, you're a young boy, still growing into your body, injuries can occur. And this is pulled away to mid-on. They think about a run. There's already been 2 direct hits, and Zandberg thinks that he might have been loitering the man who's gone
He's
back.
walked off.
Yeah, he's out.
Dear.
He's out.
Oh, has he? No, he hasn't walked off, but let's take a look.
Well, Zandberg received the ball with the bails off the wicketkeeper.
And that is out.
Oh,
Goodness gracious me. Well, I've seen everything in running now. That's the 3rd run out. What we're seeing here is we're seeing 2 teams. One's completely switched on and ready to play, and the other one has come out and not consistently concentrating on what they need to achieve.
he was just loitering, wasn't he? Just didn't know what he was doing, Grant.
I'll tell you, it wasn't loitering. The bloke who fired it back in and the keeper. You know, that just should not have happened. That's just such a shame that that's happened.
So Warthra hit the 6 and the boundary. So he was the one that was trying to force the issue a bit. He's gone for 11 off 9. And it's 4 for 14. The batting of the Lankan Lions, again, a major issue.
Can I find a silver lining in that for you?
You can.
He'll never get out like that again. I don't think he'll ever take it for granted that he can just stroll back into his crease when the ball is still live. And of course it was still alive. It was hit down to mid-on. There was no semblance of it being a dead ball. Mid-on's picked it up. Great awareness, number 11. Is that Sadiq, is it? Number 11?
Yes, it is.
Sadiq's picked it up. Fantastic awareness.
Saad. Rafa bowls wide of the off stump.
Great match awareness. We've spoken about match awareness quite a bit throughout this tournament as well. And at cricket, it's so much about problem solving. What's the problem we've got to solve? Well, right now, it's to bat as long as we can, bat as many overs as we can. We've lost 4 overs in the first 4 wickets are in the first 3 overs.
Senator Tharana, the wicket keeper, is the new batter. He cuts, that's short, and cut away. He got over the top of it, bit loose there from Rafa, and he finds the boundary. They need a lot more of those. 4 for 18, that's a beautiful shot through the covers.
Yeah, that's the first or second real loose delivery. It was there to be hit and full toll.
You've seen 3 runouts like that early in a cricket match? I can't remember. I've seen a lot of cricket over the years, Grant.
I can't remember.
No.
I can't remember a team being 4 for with 3 runouts, 2 of which were direct hits, a third which could have been a run out, and a 4th was a complete lack of concentration by the batter.
We're a little bit behind on the over rate, but you can understand that. We've had 4 dismissals and a run out referral. Afzal Sadiq. Oh, is that Down the
He's
leg
out.
side, he's gone. Yes, another soft dismissal. Strangled down the leg side. And Diaz has gone for a duck. And you're right, Grant, they're not switched on here. This is a dreadful batting display by the Lankan Lions. They're 5 for 18 in the fourth over a nothing shot.
Let's take a look at the replay. Yep, a little tickle off the glove and a nice catch going down leg side. The keeper knew he was out. The batter knew he was out. It was almost like incredulous. He couldn't believe it. How has that happened? I got a question for you, Dan.
Yes, far away. I'll try and answer it.
In a competition or tournament, look at that. Hit the glove.
It did.
Oh, Ash Burrows is all over that. He's not missing that. Our first class umpire. Would you prefer to have all of your luck in the semi-final, or carry and just have a bland final, or would you like to just carry all your luck into the final? Have it. So no, I'm not going to take any luck in the semi. Let's take our chances. Give me all the luck in the final. What do you think?
I always think it's harder to get into the final. I look at AFL footy as the preliminary finals. They say it's the hardest game to win. Once you're in, you never know what happens in a final. I would prefer the match to get you in. It's a very good question to get you into the final. If luck is presented, thank you very much. It gives you a good chance of winning the trophy.
I agree.
You're then a
That's what I was
50-50
thinking
chance.
too. That's
Yeah.
what, I'm glad I could explain my question to you, and you got it because you got to get there, don't you?
You
And
do.
once you're there, but if you're not going to get any luck at all, this has been a combination for, like, that was bad luck for the batter. He could have dropped his hands, yes. He could have done a whole heap of things, and another day, it doesn't brush the glove, and there's no out. But the rest of the dismissals were just pretty much lacking concentration.
The mind also wasn't that sharp either. I mean, if he thought that he could get some decent bat on that, he goes through with the shot. And there's no way that Zandberg is able to stop that. And they get at least one run, maybe four, because fine leg is inside the circle and reasonably square at the moment. Or he lets it go. He's in two minds. That's the problem.
Yep.
5 for 18, yes, 5 for 18 early in the fourth over. 3 run-outs, a wicket each to the two opening bowlers, Hafsal Sadiq and Abdul Rafi, the captain, who's bowling in the tournament for the first time. Two direct hits, going for quick singles.
And Keith Wikrama.
They need runs. And he lets this go outside the off stump. Happy to have a side. There's plenty of overs left, so why not?
I wouldn't be playing this as a T20 anymore if I were over the Lankan Lions. I'd be playing it as either a 50 or not a test match, but they've just got to bat as long as they can, use up as many overs as they can. We said they were good bowling, fielding side, but you've got to get at least 80 to 90, you'd think, and there's a wide.
Swinging away. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good a bowling and fielding side you are, you've got to have something to defend. They've got some good players with the bat. Pakistan, including the leading run scorer in the tournament by a long, long way in Rayan Farouk, who's fielding at second slip at the moment with 169 runs. He turns this to mid-wicket, and he was reasonably deep, the fielder there, so they managed to scurry through for a single. They were pretty definitive. Mind you, the two direct hit run-outs were definitive, Grant, but it was just magnificent fielding.
You're always nervous as a batter running when there's a direct hit. It just, if it's close, it feels like it easily could go either way.
5 for 20. Yes, 5 for 20 in the fourth over. This is turned away down to fine leg, straying on the leg stump. Afzal.
It's a leg bite.
It's a leg by.
Harry getting the trophy beautifully presented, winning medallions and runners-up, and
which will all happen on Monday. It's good delivery. He sways out of the way to a shortish ball, which is called a wide.
Yep, height definitely the issue, because
Yeah.
Burrows looked to his square leg and got confirmation that, yep, way too high.
Dabbed away now. It's a backward point by Abby Wickramer, who's at the crease with Senator Tharana. One of these have got to go on. Both of them probably need to go on and get a decent score, which, as I've said a few times, has not existed in the batting repertoire of the Lions so far in this tournament. Incredible start here. Good bowling. So 4 overs gone. Lankan Lions won the toss, elected to bat, and this has backfired disastrously for them so far. 5 for 23 after 4 overs. 3 of them run-outs. And the other 2 dismissals, one was caught down at whitish fine leg, and then there was that strangulation down the leg side to the wicket keeper. So no bowl, no LB, no caught behind.
Rafa going to continue. 1 for 10 off his 2 so far.
Very handy player to have back in bowling. Farouk still at slip. Next to Zandberg, the keeper. Down the leg side, and it's flicked away nicely. Some work for deep backward square to do. They've got one. They'll think about the run out. It's going to be another run out because they're at the same end. They're virtually shaking hands, and this is the debacle. They thought about the second run. What a mess. What an absolute mess.
I can't believe my eyes, Dan. I can't believe my eyes. These young players have got so much ability, but they're just self-destructing. Now it's official. I've never seen 4 run-outs in the first 6. There was communication going on, but it was just they've confused each other. One thought for sure there was a second in it, and then they both ended up at the same end.
Well, certainly the batter that played the shot, he was determined, and he was away, and then his teammate said no. He started to go, he said no, it's too late.
Left-hander, the new batter.
So they get 1 run.
Both is on strike.
Abby Wickramer is the 1 run out. Rafa, wide of the off stump, that'll be called a wide. There's been a few wides so far. They need as many runs as they can get at the moment, the Lankan Lions. But then again, the wickets are falling so quickly. 6-4, 25.
You can just about bet your bottom dollar the number 8 didn't think he'd be in the first 4 overs.
Now Chris Sridhar has come to the wicket. 2 47s, one is Max Diaz, Sridhar's the other one. So he's in. And Senator Tharana, who was the one that sent back. Oh, it's caught behind. Caught behind. He had a flash outside the off stump and another wicket falls. Terrible shot. Lifted his head, didn't move his feet. And he was the one that had sent back And it was too late though. Wickrama, and he was run out, and then Senevitarana, maybe because he was concentrating on the run out, has played a terrible shot away from the body, and Rafa's got 2 wickets.
I've got to be
they're
honest,
7
I've
for
never
24.
seen a bigger combination of lack of concentration and just sheer bad luck. On any other day, those direct hits could be slightly off and miss, and we don't lose a wicket. On any other day, you could flick off your pads down to fine leg and not hit the only fielder at deep fine leg. On any other day, you could flick outside your stump there like that and play and miss. But today, of all days in a semi-final of ACL Under-19 2025, everything's going against the Lankan Lions and with the Pakistani Sultans. Now we bring 2 slips in. And number 9 comes into the bat at, is that 7 for 24, Dan, or 6 for 24?
7 for 24. You're right, Graham. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Can I honestly say, I've never seen a combination of bad luck all in one innings.
I've seen it in Test cricket a bit. England were 5 for 27 one day, 78, 79. Australia was 6 for 26. Victoria in a Shield match were 9 for 44. But not in this form of the game. Just not quite getting the radar right. That's probably the only negative for Rafa, his first bowl back. 7 for 25. So Sridhar is at the non-striker's end. Good bowling on line, defending into the offside.
That was a nice shot. Nice controlled shot. And the number 9, he should be just looking to treat this, I'd be treating this as batting practice, but really disciplined batting practice, where you're not giving up your wicket. You're in the nets and you just want to stay there for a long period of time.
This is on the leg stump, and he nudges it away. They've got 1, and they only go for 1. I mean, they could have hustled for 2, but they've had so many run-outs. I think caution is the way to go at the moment with the run-outs and the running between the wickets. Even though they need as many runs as they can get to give themselves any chance. Any chance. Last ball, the 5th over. It's good bowling. He got a little bit tied up at the crease and ballooned it, but safely. Crandell Segler winners at the crease, and he can bat with Sridhar. He's 1. Sridhar is yet to score. In fact, there's still 1 ball remaining in the over. It's been a long over. Still shaking my head as what we've seen here. Incredible 5 overs of cricket. That's why we love it. I'm sure the Lankan Lions boys would be liking it much at the moment. They've taken out the second slip. And this is in the air and angled on the leg stump, but he managed to just get it away from backward square, and it lands safely. But it's all happening under immense pressure for the Lankan Lions, who after winning the toss and batting have collapsed after 5 overs. 7 for 28. I'll say it again, 7 for 28. Good afternoon, Suhas. Can you believe your eyes? of what you've just seen in the first 5 overs?
Yeah, I had to rub my eyes a few times to try and decipher if the score is all right. It isn't. The Lankan Lions winning the toss, choosing to bat first and forgetting why.
Direct hit run-outs, lack of concentration run-out.
The shots offered as well, I think that will be definitely questioned by the coach. You, Dan, were mentioning about the fact that it's a team that's unbeaten, but it's had its batting woes.
Yeah.
One day they wouldn't want the batting demon to surface, would have been the semi-final.
So this is the 3rd over for Afzal. They've got some good spinners too, the Sultans, as we saw yesterday, and they may not be needed here, Suhas. At 7 for 28.
I'll tell you what, Abdul Rafi at the toss, the captain of Pakistani Sultans, said, I wanted to bowl first anyway. And he's vindified that decision. This is lovely channel from Afzal Sadiq. He's breathing fire at the moment because remember, one of the wickets that he got was not a very wicket-taking delivery down the leg side, but a little tickle. But after that, that's what a wicket can do to a fast bowler. After that, he's been sensational, outside off, hitting that length time and time out.
These are the 2 opening bowlers for the Lankan Lions. They're lucky that there's been a few wides, 7 for 29. And they've just got to get together a bit like the last pair for the Sydney Kangaroos yesterday, put on 51 to make a half-decent score for them. In the end, it was run down with 2 overs remaining by the Leopards. Pakistan Sultans on fire. Beaten outside the off-stump, an absolute ripper that nearly...
It's just inexplicable, some of the deliveries. How do they miss the outside edge? And when someone is in such good rhythm, it's also inexplicable why they string a wide delivery down the leg side just moments ago. This was a peach.
Nearly took the bail.
It's the consistency factor that he'll be working on, Afzal Sadiq.
Again, slightly wide of the off stump, but just having a look. They've got time to do a lot of this leaving at the moment because we're only in the 6th over and they're 7 for 29. We know that Siegelwin can bat and he can hit, but he doesn't need to do it yet. Can't do it yet. Can't take any more risks.
Afzal Sadiq was nursing an injury. To come back from that, generate 1 for 13 and 2.4 is done well.
A little bit of bounce in this new pitch.
It's also Sadiq bending his back. Now the extra delivery because of the wide. Slip still persists, and why wouldn't it? Rafe, the attacking captain he is, will go for the kill. He's reduced the opponents to 29 for 7 in a big semi-final of ACL Under 19.
And beaten outside the off stump. I thought, ooh, there was nearly an edge there.
Give me $1 for every time there has been a waft in this over.
Oh.
6 overs later, 29 for 7.
What a great over that was. If you've just joined us and you've looked at the score and you're thinking, no way, yes, wait. 2 direct hit run-outs. Another run-out where the batter was loitering. Thought the ball could have been dead, but it obviously wasn't dead. The return came to the keeper and he whipped the bails off. He was out of his ground. Play was caught down at deep fine leg off the second ball from a wayward ball. And then a strangulation down the leg side as well. And another caught behind was playing away from the body. None of the shots have been good.
This is a collapse of epic proportions. Given that it's a semi-final, you don't have another chance to come back. The Lankan Lions are wounded, yes. Crandall, who's known for big hits and also pacing in his innings really well, now has to build one along with Krishna Sridhar. Remember, these two men have batted really well in one of the games and stitched together a crucial partnership towards the end. They understand each other. These are the positives that the Lankan Lions would be talking about.
Tariq with 6 wickets for the tournament, including a hat-trick, comes in. So there is absolutely no respite for the Lankan Lions batters when a man who's taken 6 for 44 at 7.3 in the tournament comes in.
The slip is lurking around for that outside edge, and I'm very interested to see how the surface behaves for the spinner.
Yes, first look at it, as we said. The 2 semis will be played on this pitch, the third pitch that's been used for the tournament, and the final will as well on Monday. 7 for 29. This is driven down the ground by Crandall. It'll be cut off though by Talar, one of the opening batters.
Oh, wasn't his throw excellent? The direct hit getting rid of another Lankan Lion batter.
7 for 30 in the 7th. Here's Sridhar. He swings the next one, and all he can do is play it out in the covers and no run. Just can't take any risks.
He's got a man at long off now.
Wide of the off stump, chopped away. Good fielding again. Everything going right for the Pakistanis. I said earlier to Grant, I was watching them practice for a few minutes and they were dropping every high ball. And the coach said, focus boys, focus. And the Sri Lankans were pretty sharp in the field. I didn't see them go through a pre-match warm-up with the bat.
Clearly didn't do with their running.
No. Tariq again. Cut away. Beats the fielder at point, but he's got protection out at deep point. And that's good batting. Just risk adverse, playing along the ground, getting some singles. 7 for 32 after 7 overs. I would think they need to sit on Tariq. I understand they need runs, but he's such a crucial player in this tournament for the Sultans, who were in a strong position going into the second last over against the Indian Tigers last night to finish on top and play the Afghanistan Eagles, and then conceded 24 in the last over. And speaking to Abdul Rafi, Big Ali is a good bowler, just didn't bowl to his field, and they hit 6 after 6 after 6. That was a mighty finish. Suhas, mighty finish.
The Lankan Lions have got to believe from here. They've got to believe that they've reached thus far because they played as a unit. They found ways to come out of difficult situations. This is one such presented. If you take the magnitude of the game out of this, you can focus a bit better. Offering the shot of that one was a little afterthought. The coach would have been fine had he left it alone completely because the scorecard's asking him to.
Another man who's had a good tournament, Khalif. So they get Rafi back. Khalif comes in as a change bowler. We've got Tariq. Tariq will bowl his spinners as well if required. That's a versatility. This is caught at point. What a terrible shot. Played away from the body and steered it meekly. That's the 8th wicket gone, and it's stunned silence because he played away from the body and just catching practice. 8 gone now for 33 in the 8th over. Unbelievable.
Just when we were talking about the importance of not playing anything outside the line of the body because the situation is dire. Here's another shot offered with half heart and a simple catch for the man at backward point. Nothing going the Lankan Lions' way. The Lions have been caged. The Sultans are ruling.
Current run rate 4.5.
33 for it.
Incredible. Just don't know what to say about this. This is just like, dare I say it, the Indian collapse in the test match in Adelaide.
And then you know what happened.
They found form, didn't they?
Yes, it's called wearing a badge. It's called 36, wearing a badge.
And this is Hetty Arachich, who's bowled some good spells. He'll have to bowl the greatest spell of his life later on today, if he can't contribute much with the bat.
I tell you what, the number that you brought up just now, 36 is not too far away from here.
Here's Khalif, and he manages to guide this down to fine leg. So 8 for 34. A lot of pressure on big Crandell Siegelwin in more ways than one.
The batting prowess cannot be questioned. Neither of Crandell nor of Hetia Rachige. It's just the application. Lots of overs left. And in a collapse of this kind, a T20 game can be made to look like a 50-over game, because the phase of play over here and the approach to this particular phase with the bat has to be same.
Driven caught! What a catch! Oh! What a catch on the covers!
Absolutely outstanding. Once again, a half-hearted stroke.
Yep.
And cannot believe this coming from someone like Crandell. The bat turning in his hand, not helping. Completely airborne. And a catch to remember for a long time for Farooq. It might have come at a time when the situation was a little innocuous and his team was already standing atop the hill. But he said, let's keep this going. This is the standard we set for ourselves. Banish the thought that Pakistani Sultans weren't good on the field. This is a new dawn. This is a new Pakistani Sultans that we're watching. And they're peaking at the right time.
9 for 34.
This is outstanding. Wait for the moment his shadow meets the man. He comes back with a catch.
It was also great captaincy, because they've just moved him out from slip.
Yeah.
And now they're putting him back into slip. So they've got the job done. Everything going right for the Pakistanis.
Excellent call.
Yeah.
In a situation where it's 34 for 8, you do want the slip.
Yeah.
Very surprised that Khalif said, it's okay. Let the slip fade away. I trust the keeper to jump. Give me a man at extra cover. And then he flies.
Now the last ball he faced, Munir Singh hit a 6 to get his team to 130 in one of the earlier games. They need a lot of sixes, but maybe not just yet. At 9 for 34, Khalif bowls. And he drives in a jittery fashion to mid-on, no run. Again, a well-up ball. They have been sensational. Just get the impression, Suhas, that last night stung them, losing that match when they had it won, with 24 needed off 12 by the Tigers.
Another reason for the Lankan Lions to not like the Indian Tigers so much then.
That's wide. Takes the score to 9 for 35.
Boy, is this a bounce back. Yesterday was a truncated game. It was a 16-over game. The plans changed accordingly. And I felt there were certain phases in the game where the Pakistani Sultans struggled to adapt to a 16-over format.
There are also phases where I thought they were pretty good, especially at the start of the innings with the bat. It's a no ball, and it's pushed into the covers, and they don't run, even though there probably was a run. They're happy with the no ball.
At a time when almost every ball seems like it's going to bring a wicket, there is one which might not, unless there is harakiri with the running.
Free hit as well. So we'll see if Grant has been very right with this, how the batter plays the free hit.
It was an outside edge.
Yes, it was.
And the slip usually is not there to field an outside edge, but to catch it.
He was though.
8 overs gone. 36 for 9. The number is 36. Dan, 36.
Correct.
Something about the visiting teams here in Australia and 36.
What do you remember of that innings? Were you watching it?
I wanted to, but by the time I woke up, the innings had ended.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. I wasn't in town at that time, but of course, following every bit of it.
I was broadcasting Casey South Melbourne in a Premier Cricket match against Melbourne. And every time you'd look up, 1 for 3, 2 for 4, 3 for 5. 36.
The entire pace battery of Australia were remarkable in that one and relentless as well. And Stark in particular was troubling the Indian batters left, right and centre.
Then, of course, Kohli went home for the birth of his child, and
Yes.
Rahane was white knuckle in the way he captained and batted. Big 100 in Melbourne. One of the best captain's hundreds I've ever seen.
Oh yes,
That's a slog sweep.
with a cloud cover, of course.
Yep. Brilliant.
The cloud cover, and from all that's transpired just before that game, to put all that aside and find new rhythm was remarkable.
Virosh, Hetty Aratij Virosh gets a run, and it's 9 for 37. So we'll see what Nigel Munasinghe does against the spin of Tariq. This incredible batting collapse of the Lankan Lions. We have lamented their poor batting, but nothing has been as bad as this.
In a situation where it's 37 for 9. Ooh, that wasn't too far away from the off stick, nor did it bounce as much as expected. Saad bin Tariq is making the pitch look a little so-so, but honestly, it's the lack of pace that has caused the lack of bounce there, I would believe. Because we've seen balls bounce from that region.
Kept very low, didn't it? A bit more air there.
We're back
Squeezes
live
it
then.
away. Yep.
In a situation like this, you want... Oh, well. In a situation like this, Dan, you want Goody Two-Shoes, someone like that, to walk out and then play the allotted 20 overs? Or you would rather have someone recalcitrant?
Yeah, it's a good point. I just think now they've got no choice. There's a wide called here. It wasn't taken cleanly by Zamberg, who's been doing a good job behind the stumps. I think if you play some dot balls for a little while, that's fine now. And then if you're still in with 7 or 8 overs to go, you've got to start having a crack. They've got to try and, I don't know how they get to 100, but they've got to try and think about 100. I know that is the most ambitious comment, and I'm normally glass 3/4 empty, and because I'm barracking for the contest.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how they get to 100 from here at
tell you
9
what,
for 40.
It's a good call. You said with 8 overs left, it's 8 overs from go here.
And you start again. You just play every ball on its merits. If you need to defend, you defend.
They don't have to look too far into
No.
history to get some confidence. Remember the last wicket partnership for the Kangaroos, 51, and
Yeah.
Cash played brilliantly.
Yes. He showed he can hit sixes, Munasinghe. Not yet.
Ibi Khan was brilliant in particular, especially when there were shots played on the leg side. 9 overs later, 40 for 9. It's a subdued performance from the Lankan Lions after winning the toss.
I wonder what's going on in the mind of the young boys. They're all still pretty early in their cricket journey. They've played a lot of cricket. We've spoken about the fact that the Premier Cricket competition is a very good one here in Victoria. It's probably too many teams. But they've played under 18s. Some are playing first, some are playing seconds from both teams. And the Lankan Lions boys would they'd be shocked and stunned, no doubt.
It's one thing to consider this as a nightmare and feel immobile. It's quite another to accept the challenge, take it on the chin and bat through the next 11 overs. I would like the Lankan Lions to show some courage here and bat through the next 11 overs. At least not get out playing a shot they would not be proud of.
That's down the leg side. Afzal Sadiq's coming back on here. There's a few extras on the board, which is helping the cause. They are definitely the highest run scorer, Xavier Trass.
Xavier Trass. Something that the Australians gave us.
Birosh at 9 for
The
41.
cricket fans.
Yes.
2 slips in place.
2 slips. That's better. Slicing over the top. Freed the arms. Went for it. A little bit loose outside the off stump. That'll give them some confidence. Just their third boundary of the innings, or 6. 9 for 45. First target needs to be 50. 5 away. That was a nice shot.
Yeah, very good shot indeed.
Put a fielder out now at deep cover.
You can't be following the ball here. Surprised that a slip has faded away.
Now he gets
This
a
should
top
be gone.
edge, but he's been caught. No, dropped. He lost his footing, Zandberg. I thought he got more of it, then I looked up and it was ballooned right in front of him and he made a meal of it.
This is regulation for a keeper.
Yeah.
What was he up to here? Oh, he lost the ball completely. Then he parries it to the nearest fielder. Farouk's wondering, I didn't sign up for that. This is ridiculous from the keeper. Not at this level.
Maybe it's
Such a closely contested Aussie Cricket League under-19.
maybe it's the luck they need.
And there's another thing that I really want to discuss. In this era where equipment has become remarkable in all sense, the shades do not cost too much, do they?
No, they don't.
And in a sunny Melbourne, when you play most of your games, you can't be missing that. It's a non-negotiable part of your cricket kit.
It's become non-negotiable, not so much with the bat, but obviously fielding and bowling. Especially fielding. This is down the leg
This is
side.
better.
Yeah, that was...
It's good to see the keeper get some rhythm now.
Maybe he got a bit too excited. I think we've got him out already under 10 overs and just was thinking ahead before he had control of the situation. 9 for 46.
There's a conversation waiting to happen between Afzal and the keeper.
Slow one. And he played that across the line. He just threw the bat at it without moving his feet and dragged it along the ground. They all count, no matter how unscientific and unorthodox it is. Especially when your team is on the rack at 9 for 47. The Sultans all over the lines like a Dan Lonigan cheap suitor, which I've got quite a few of them, Suhas. Cheap suit means they're
that you
too big
write
for
down
you.
on the go. Unbelievable. And the Australians, they continue to give to this world of cricket new sayings.
No ball, lost his way then. And we've got a free hit here.
Inching towards the first milestone.
Crazy first 10 overs. And another one, he just tried a bit too hard there and has given away yet another.
The free hit will continue.
Yep. So they need to chase 50 at the moment. It's 9 for 49, so there's a milestone of sorts.
That length was so perfect.
Yep.
No chance for any batter, let alone one looking for his first run.
He's faced 9 balls, Nigel Munasinghe.
There's some
10.
good bounce from that good length area, and that will only make sure that batters with great technique are able to score runs when the ball pitches there. Because that extra bit of bounce can be difficult to negotiate, as it's steep bounce, not spongy bounce from this end. Look at that.
Well, Farouk moved out to that area where he took that catch
At the halfway stage, 49 for 9.
at short straight mid-wicket for that last ball of the over. So 10 gone. Grant's going to join Suhas and talk more about this incredible first 10 overs and this Sri Lankan batting display, or Lankan Lions batting display, which has been very disappointing, for want of a better expression, and certainly the understatement of the century.
Hello, Sue. So I'd like to say that this display has left Dan Lonigan speechless, but that would be drawing a very long bow. Commentator with an enormous amount of experience. There's hardly nothing he does not know about sport in general. Not just
50
cricket.
comes up.
And there's the 50. Tariq bowling from this southern end. And only 1 wicket away from drawing close to the Lankan Lions innings.
Surprised that the captain is deciding. Surprised that the captain is deciding to continue with the spinner from this end with just 1 slip. Not the fact that it's a spinner in the first place. I'm saying the spinner is perfect, but with just 1 slip.
And what's he doing now? He's actually...
Because Arachige and Nigel, both of them, are looking to defend the ball more than play.
Well, you're actually not even got 1 slip now for your Suez, so that's going to...
So now no slips.
Yep.
Look at him. He's going to defend the ball.
You'd like to see a bit more attacking, would you?
Well, I would say, from the fielding team's point of view, if the batter is trying to defend the ball, you need men around the batter. If he's trying to play the ball, then there is, of course, the fielders who are at the edge of the 30-yard circle to begin with. It's a very audacious appeal from Saad.
Down the ground.
Now he's trying to play.
Along the ground.
And what it also does is allows easy runs. This time, of course, he had to take a bit of risk. 11 overs gone, 52 for 9.
We saw that, I think it was the last over, first blemish from the Pakistani Sultans with a drop catch. Prior to that, they've had terrific catching. Well, they catch in the covers. You won't see much better than that anywhere. The others really safe hands, and the 4 runouts is that's the stat that's really surprised me. Be able to get 4 runouts, and I think that was the first 5 or 6 dismissals. 4 runouts, first 6 dismissals.
It's just unacceptable at any level. The coach will be burning a hole through the notebook. That's a very good looking shot. And off the ricochet, the single is available indeed. You want to see positive batting even at this stage.
Yeah. Why not?
I think it's the bat hitting the ground. That was the sound. The bat hitting the ground. Nothing to do with leather and willow.
The Shriekeland team haven't got a function to go to, have they? A party or something that they're trying to get this over and done with quickly?
Surely not being hosted by the Lankan Lions.
It'd be a pretty dour party now. It'd be a little bit sombre.
True.
No ball. Free hit. They wouldn't run themselves out in a free hit, would they?
Just got to go for the biggie.
Oh, he's looking at potentially a reverse sweep there. Just a little practice shot. See what he does with it. He's probably eyeing off down the ground, I would think.
Too many no balls though.
Picks up a single. ballooned out just over the cover field.
With Grant around, how can we even expect that a free hit would go for 4?
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Oh. I think I saw a 6 off one of them last. I was so relieved. I was so pleased to see a free hit go for a boundary.
Nice, and then you realize it's a different tournament altogether. You've been watching a different channel.
That's it.
The lenses that he's resorting to here, the lens, very death over like lens. It's more like defending. We'd love to see more attacking lengths and lines from Hasnain Raza Khalif.
So, ask question: what total would be the absolute minimum you'd say where slight chance of defending?
Anything
From
over
there.
100 at least, 110, and they'll be mighty pleased. Seems like a distant dream at this stage. But
So
110, you would need that much to give your bowlers to express themselves. And I just get a feeling that the captaincy of Sujan is so good, which was the last game you saw. The last game was a testimony to that he'll try and conjure up some magic to try and restrict the opposition. 110, 100 at least, Grant. Shot straight to the fielder.
if I'm the Pakistan Sultans coach, I'm saying treat this like a big score. Take nothing for granted. Whatever they get, don't think that it's just going to happen, automatically happen. It's happened once to the Lankans. Could it happen to the Sultans? Complacency, I think that's where I'm alluding. This is where a coach and a captain do not be complacent.
Can happen to anyone. That's cricket for you. Now the Aussie Cricket League Melbourne. This under-19 edition. Thank you to our sponsors, Exclusive Immigration.
So these Sri Lankan bowlers who are now batting have got the most to benefit, haven't they? Because they're saying, well, the batters haven't done their job, so we'll do their job and get as many runs as we can, and we'll do our best to defend them.
The wrong end. The situation is such that Arham Farooq can also try out his different variations, make them match ready.
Oh, you've already got them in the final, Suresh.
Make them match ready for all the tournaments coming up too.
Go on the that's cool. There's another Australian saying for you.
Go for it.
You've gone the early crow.
The early crow.
The early crow, yeah. That's when you predict the winner before the game's finished.
The entire concept of win-whiz of Dan is based on the early crow.
The early crow. He's an early crow expert. Oh, Dan Lonergan. He's a very expert.
Those many
early
crows
crow.
have been hunted down by him.
Sure, it comes from the origins of that saying. As you're alluding to, we've got a lot in
I know
Australia.
about the early bird
who
who
catches
gets
the
the worm.
worm.
Yes.
Yep.
You've been more specific. The early crow. This is marvellous.
Yeah.
The outside edge was challenged once again. Good over from Arham Farooq. Much like his peers. 59 for 9.
So you've got the minimum at 100 or 110. If they just bat the way they're going and bat out their overs, they're on 91.
The projected score, as I was confirming with Sachin, does not take into consideration how many wickets are left.
It doesn't. No, it's just a...
But this partnership is a little ray of hope to get to a respectable total. 25 of 35 between Nigel and Hettiar Ratchige.
And goes without saying, this is the best partnership of the innings.
This is the only partnership of sorts.
This is the only partnership of the innings. Good point.
And a big thank you to Tag Real Estate Victoria as well, who recently opened their office in the UAE.
Find out what Tag do. What do they do? Do you know, Seth?
They're into real estate, yes.
Real estate.
You can consult them where exactly your next property investment should be.
In the UAE.
In the UAE.
Right. There you go.
Straight from Ajman till the end of UAE.
Okay.
This was very deliberately played, just in case, because of the situation, you might think it's an outside edge now. He was in good control while he played this. What a time to come in and bowl as well for Rayan Farooq. At what point of time do you think it'll get a little irritating for Pakistani Sultans, all these runs, a little frustrating?
It's always
waiting. You can't wait for the penny to drop.
No, it's always frustrating to get when the last partnership hang in there. You know, there's no doubt they want to tie this up and clean it up very, very quickly.
The Kangaroos showed great resistance in their final wicket partnership. Can something similar happen today for the Lankan Lions? Gives them some runs to bowl at. And that is the advantage of hanging around as well. Sometimes you don't even need to offer a shot and you get runs.
Boys, yep, that's right. In the air.
Should land safely, no problem. But the second run might have been a problem. Even if it was available, the risk wasn't taken. It's just not worth taking the risk. Hang around. Stick to the crease. Battle it out. Hang in there.
That's the end of the over. 9 for 62 off 14, 6 to go. They're sharing the strike around, these guys. They both faced 21 balls. Said Suhas, it's a beautiful day, so it's quite warm.
It's a warm day with gentle breeze. It's good for cricket.
Not a cloud in the sky that I can see.
Got the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. Carpenters.
Nice. Like the way
on top of the world. You're singing the lyrics.
Looking down on creation.
Yes, indeed. It's the only
destination I can find.
Yes, indeed. The love that I've found ever since you've been around. Oh, well. Arham Farooq.
That'd be one of the top hits over in here right now, no doubt.
I don't know. I think the only reason I must have listened to that or the Postman by Carpenters is because, Grant, you told me to. In the last tour.
Yep, that'll be it. One of my favourites. You've been checking out my playlist again?
He's got it.
him.
And that is it. The Lankan Lions fold for 63 due to a bowling performance that the Pakistani Sultans have churned out. The best bowling performance in the semi-final so far in all Aussie Cricket League under-19s put together.
And the best fielding performance too. I don't recall many times you'll get 4 runouts in an innings, and with 2 direct hits, 1 great awareness there it was playing on outside off stump, and another more conventional, well, it wasn't as conventional, 2 players at the same end for a lack of communication. So 63 after best part of 14, nearly 15 overs, and the Sultans, the captain, congratulating everyone. Don't go the early crow, we'd say in Australia.
There's surely 30 to 40 runs short from a respectable total, let alone what the surface has to offer. The Lankan Lions, they need to bowl out of their skins to defend this. They do have the variations to defend this. They do have the men in form to defend this. But the Pakistani Sultans have got Farooq up top. They've got Talha. They have the batting prowess to steamroll an opposition, which is offering them resistance of 63.
Let's take a look at the scorecards, and it's not pleasant reading at all for the Lankan Lions. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4 ducks, run out, run out, run out, run out. Top scorer, number with 11, Harish Selawithwara, and extras 21, and there's even 21 extras in that.
And indeed, it's Xavier Truss, the highest scorer. Extra 63, and the Lankan Lions fold in Sultans. Abdul Rafi picked up 2 wickets, and Hasnain did the same thing. A wicket apiece for Sadiq and Farooq, and all the others were run-outs. They've been sensational on the field, the Pakistan Sultans.
He was the best player for the Lankan Lions, like called extras.
Nothing to talk about here. Maximilian Diaz and Harish Salwatra Salvadura did hang around for about 8 balls and 8 balls only. Sridhar and Crandall's resistance lasted for 18 deliveries, and it's the final pair between Arachige and Nigel, who had a 29 and pushed the score past the 50-run mark. Everything else was a struggle.
So that's it. We have a run chase now in the first semi-final, ACL Under-19 2025. It'll be the Pakistani Sultans attempting to chase down a total of 64 off their 20 overs. We'll see you soon.
Any sauce? Sorry, the sachet, I mean. We right, mate? Well, an incredible bowling performance by the Pakistan Sultans. Some kamikaze running by the Lankan Lions. Some brilliant fielding by Pakistan Sultans has seen the Lions dismissed just inside 15 overs for 63. So 64 needed by the Sultans to move into the final. Munasinghe kicks things off. And he gives away a wide, which they can ill afford to do with the first ball. Welcome back, Grant. I still can't believe what I saw earlier today, that incredible collapse of the Sri Lankan batting.
Yeah, it wasn't just the collapse, was it? It was the way they went about it with 4 run-outs. One was just some lazy work, walking down the wicket and then pinged the ball back to the keeper and took off the bails. But they were really on, weren't they? The Pakistan Sultans, they were extremely up for that innings.
Munasinghe involved in a last week of partnership to try and get some respectability. Bowls, and it's pushed into the offside by a man who started this tournament with 169 runs in his 3 digs. Rayan Farooq, who captained this Pakistan lineup just under 2 years ago in Noosa, where I first had the pleasure of meeting the great Grant O'Hara.
Well, thanks for that, Dan. And it's just interesting to see how you go about such a short or a low run chase. The temptation is to try and peel it off really quickly, but do you need to do that?
Net run rate doesn't come into it, does it? That's good bowling. And he just squeezes down on that. Wasn't far away from even maybe rolling onto the stumps.
And just a reminder that the Lankans won the toss and decided to bat. And we said we thought we knew why they did that, but that's because they've bowled well and fielded really well so far. But we also said that a minimum pass score of 110 if you're going to defend anything. So it's quite a few short, but it's a funny game, cricket. You never know, Dan. Well,
they passed 98-9 down in the opening game of the tournament against the Pirates. And pill for LBW. Close. That is close. And there was a little bit of movement of the hand.
Vivek, you must have had a really good look at this.
That would have been a great wicket early days.
Maybe a little high. Very convincing, weren't they? They were sure.
They've got Lenny Wilton in at slip. Spoke to Lenny. I said, was there a run in that when you got run out? He said, it was a bit risky.
I think it's a good decision. Back leg but high. Instead of hitting above the knee roll, above the flap of the pad actually. Gee, I reckon that would have been umpire's call.
Slip gully. Short extra cover. Cover point. He gets hit on the pad. That is closer this time. That's got to be out. I thought it should have been out, but it's not. What saved him here, Grant?
Maybe this bat. Let's see where it pitches. There. Height again. That's the consensus in the room. Height again. Above the knee, the flap of the pad. Ducking back. Beautiful piece of bowling.
Well, the benefit of the replay showed that it was a bit high, but looking at the naked eye, I thought it was a bit lower than that.
Vivek, the umpire, under enormous pressure.
Good umpire, though. Doesn't seem to panic.
That's terrific. Ash Burrows at square leg, he'd have an idea about height.
Good opening over Munasinger. He's hit on the pad again, but that's going down the leg side. It's a stifled appeal. So he hasn't been able to connect much here, Farouk. So leg by 3 times the pad in a row.
Beautiful in-swinging bowling here to the left-hander. Oh, that's close as well. Vivek, the umpire under the most pressure here.
Just back himself. He's a good umpire.
Yeah, it's definitely going down leg, that one.
Yeah. So Talar to face his first ball. Batted well yesterday. He's given Farouk good support in the 2 innings where Farouk dominated. And there's a wandering split, first slip, and a third or fourth slip in place now. And a gully. So you've nearly got a test field.
That's because they know the only way they're going to win is if they bowl them out. So they may as well have fielders in catching positions.
Correct. Short covers another one in front of the wicket on the offside. 2 slips and a gully for Munasinger. Talar driving. Good piece of work at backward point to stop what might have been a boundary then. And the first runner's off the bat. If you're happy, that's a good over. Munasinger, he did everything right in that over, I reckon.
What a good bowler. Nigel Munasinger, none for 2. From confident shouts, beat the bat 3 times. Just height was the issue, and good umpiring, Vivek. Sometimes, particularly when you get down to the lower grades, the umpire goes up with the appeal. You know, if there's strong appeal, yeah, okay, well, stronger the appeal, the more chance you were of giving it.
Yeah, I've done a bit of umpiring and you've got to be absolutely sure it's going to hit.
I have 2 and I'm just terrible. Not going to be my go. Umpiring, terrible decisions. I thought I saw it hit the pad or not hit the pad, and oh dear me. It's not an easy job, really.
No, it's not. Concentration's not one of my strengths at times. But I do enjoy it once you're out there.
Part of the game, aren't you?
Yes.
Big part of the game.
Here's Siegelwin. He's had a good tournament with the ball. Carved to backward point, no run.
Crandall Siegelwin.
Mid off and mid on and mid wicket. Third man of fine leg. And this is cut away. Oh, caught! Not just cut away, but cut away in the air and low. Great catch at backward point. They've got an early wicket. Game alive. Talar departs for 1. Siegelwin in the game again.
And that was hit quite forcefully into that gully region. Square cut just didn't quite get over the top of it. Just behind point the catch, low to the ground. And this is what we've seen from this Lankans team. We've seen them bowl well and field well. They're a really good attacking, bowling, fielding side. And just what they required. Early wicket, they'll need a couple. Well, more than a couple. They'll need 5 or 6 early ones.
Excellent catch. Backward point. Max Diaz.
It was travelling, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Took it low and made it look easy. I mean, that's good fielding, isn't it?
Definitely.
Max Heffernan. He's batted at number 3 all tournament. The all-rounder. And Siegel went with his tail up, 1 for 3. Target, 64. We're in the second over. One stage. The Lankan Lions, a parlous 7 for 27.
And a nice first ball to Heffernan.
And Rayan Farouk lived a bit dangerously. A couple of LBW decisions. The second one was pretty close, just a little bit high. He survived in the previous over from Munasinghe. Siegel win again. And it takes the outside edge as he was on his haunches to a short of a length ball. Heffernan. Where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, they know it's going to be a tough task. The Lions, with so few runs to play with. And it bobbled into the onside. As he didn't get much bat on that. But mid-wicket, the man who took the catch, Diaz, is deep.
And pressure does funny things in sport. You've not only got the high expectation pressure of a semi-final, but a run chase, being a very small run chase, but a couple of quick wickets can make a big difference.
Siegel win to Heffernan. He's appealing for LB. It's looked to me, even though Heffernan's got his back to us, a little bit high. Let's see what the replay tells us, Grant.
Yep, I'm sure you're right, Dan.
One for 3 after 2. I think it would be very unfair if I brought the wind viz out this early, considering the target's so small.
Oh, well, Dan, it's your WinViz, so you can actually reveal it whenever you like. You are in charge of WinViz.
Well, I've got it 100-0.
100-0.
Sorry,
You've given them
Lankan Lions. Well, I have from here, yes.
Possible chance.
Now, if Rayan Farouk had been dismissed in the last over and they were 2 for 3, it might be 85-15.
Oh, we've got Munasinghe's he's got going to question you on this. So he's been bowling in swing to the left-hander. Just pitch up a little bit more to bring in LBW.
Slip in a gully. Oh, he's hit on the pad. And it's been taken on the full in the gully, but I think it was hit on the pad. And it might have been a bit high again, even though he's crouching. Oh, it's all happening, Grant.
It sure is. He's just going to be up another metre if he wants to get an LBW. Height again, just above the knee roll. So he's got to be up a metre, but when you go up a metre, it just makes it a little bit easier to hit, doesn't it? But the impressive thing, Dan, is this big in-swinging shape that he's generating to the right-hander. No, when he's to the left-hander, when he comes to the right-hander, they're bringing in 2 slips in a gully because he's getting this fantastic movement. Conventional away swing to the right-hander. Lovely shape.
1 for 3. Now he pulls the next delivery. It's short, but there's protection. It's squarish, fine leg. Just gave him an opportunity to get off strike then. Rayan Farouk, just a bit short for Munasinger.
Munasinger, I'd like you to just get up a touch. Don't drop short. Get up a touch so you can at least bring LBW into play, because while you might be subject to a drive down the ground or something like that, you're bringing another dismissal mode into play, which will be the LBW. There's been 5 appeals so far, and they've all been dismissed on height, beating the bat. And you're beating the informed Rayan Farouk. You're not beating someone who hasn't scored runs in this tournament so far. So just get up that extra metre, even Yorker length, the way that you're swinging the ball.
They just have the gully as a catcher and short cover as well in front of the wicket. And Heffernan turns it into the onside. The return has hit the stumps, a la the Sultans, but the batter is home comfortably. From mid-wicket, good running by Heffernan and also Rayan Farouk.
So this is where I'd like the young player to say to the umpire, umpire, am I not getting this decision due to what? Length, to the height, to going down the leg? Just tell me what you're seeing, because then I can adjust in my own head. And I think the adjustment is to get a metre fuller.
Munasinger's bowled really well, without much luck so far. Short. Farouk pulls. Could he be caught? He is! Finally got the wicket. That's the one they wanted. That squarish fine leg. He's put it straight down his throat. And the Lankan lines are beginning to roar again, Grant O'Hara.
Oh, I tell you what, that was a great catch, because that went like a tracer bullet straight to the man at fine leg, and he didn't look like dropping that. He's gone the bouncer, he's connected Farouk, and hit it straight to the man out there at deep fine leg, and that was going. Well struck, and what a great catch. Who was it out there, Dan? Let's have a look. I think we've got number 20 odd.
I think it might be Big Seagull. We'll confirm that though.
Okay, look at this. Drop short, well above his head, would have been called wide. And that's gone quicker than it looked like. There was a slow replay. Sigurwin, was it?
Yes.
So the person bowling from the other end has taken a terrific catch down there. 2 for 5. And the dangerous Farouk out.
WV, 85-15.
Oh, dear me, that's been one of the quickest early adjustments I've ever seen. 85-15.
And there's no caveat. We lost it.
Lost the caveat.
Yeah, we did. So Farouk misses out for the first time in the series. That's a big wicket, and he never looked like it against Munasinger. Hit on the pad 4 times.
This is great fun to watch, because we're watching some really quality cricket. I'm loving watching Nigel Munasinger bowl.
Now the all-rounder Afzal Sadiq, who bowled the opening spell with his skipper.
Geez, I'd bring 2 slips in. Or float that first slip further around, because these outswingers now to the right-hander, the new batter, Sadiq.
He got some valuable runs late yesterday to get the score past 100, batting in the lower middle order, wide of the off stump.
And look where he's finishing. He's finishing down under the batter's nose. His follow-through's better than Merv Hughes. Just getting to play.
Never looked like dropping that big Crandall, did he?
It was a really good catch.
Target 58. Or 59 it is, of course. Off 103 balls. Sri Lanka have got to bowl them out. They need 8 wickets. Munasinghe to ACL. And that left him late. And he elected in the end to allow to pass through. Terrific bowling by Nigel Munasinghe. Now, Grant, he's obviously bowled 2. I've asked you this question a lot throughout the tournament. He's got his tail up. His momentum is flowing. Do you give him 1 more?
I'll give him 2 more.
You'd bowl him out now, would you?
I just want him to get 2 or 3 more wickets.
Yeah, well, he probably needs to, doesn't he?
Because if they're 5 for not many, then that is a WinViz. I like WinViz if they're 5 for not many.
Well, if they're 5 for 20, it might be 50-50.
Well, that's what they were. They were about 5 for 26, I think.
7 for 27 they were, yeah.
And then 7 for 20. All right, okay.
Yeah. They conjured 63 through the last pair. Virosh and Munasinghe, who used to have a lot of balls, but that was his job, wasn't it, really? I mean, they just had to try and get in for a little while. Having an influence. Here's Big Crandall. Taking a wicket, taking a catch. And it hits Heffernan on the thigh pad and rolls to the wicketkeeper, no run.
With his tail up, Crandall. Figure win.
Is the wicket doing more for the bowlers than we anticipated?
I don't think so. I think it's just a really good cricket wicket. Full value for your bowling and good for stroke plate.
Oh, that was close. And then a fling at the stumps by the wicketkeeper, thinking that maybe Heffernan had done a Johnny Bairstow and left his crease with the ball still being alive, but he misses.
Oh, that's a good ball. Oh, how that missed too. I don't know how it missed. So we weren't seeing things, were we, when we said they were a good fielding bowling side?
Outstanding.
They're a very good fielding and bowling side.
But they just needed another 40 or 50 to play with at this stage. Slip in a gully. Crandall again. Heffernan does well to cover up and defend. Wonderful battle between bat and ball. Tremendous opportunity, Grant, for these young men in a tough situation to try and see if they can find a way to win for their respective sides. Just strays a bit and loosens it with a run, 2 for 6.
In that 65, I think 20 odd were sundries, weren't they?
They were.
The top score.
By a long, long way. Top score with the bat was Virosh, the number 10. Who'll be called on to bowl some overs.
So, yeah.
Heffernan beaten by a good one. Driving and didn't have his foot to the pitch and it moved away from him. That was very close to the outside edge.
And I think there was a pace variation too. It looked like it might have been a bit... Oh, yeah. Yep. Well bowled. Great line.
Two for 6 in the 4th over. Second semi after this. Indian Tigers and Afghanistan Eagles. Wide of the off stump. Full credit, Grant, to the Lankan Lions players. They looked shell-shocked when they came down to go through their pre-innings warm-up with their fielding drills. But they put that behind them now, knowing there's nothing they can do about it. And they're switched on. Throwing on the leg stump, and Heffernan guides it behind square. And Munasinghe had a long way to make up, and they comfortably get 2. Beautiful shot, took the pace off it, allowing 2 runs to be scored.
That's the end of the 4th over. And you'd look at the scores and go, oh, what's wrong with the wicket? What's wrong with the outfield? But the fact of the matter is there's nothing wrong with either of those 2 things. If you're just joining in, the Lankans won the toss and decided to bat, then proceeded to have 4 run-outs posted against them. Some were terrific fielding, direct hits. Some were just lack of concentration.
One of the dismissals, the strangulation down the leg side. Another one. Player holding out in the deep. Couple of very loose shots. Caught behind and at point.
Oh, I'd hate to see one go past second slip here with his big away swing.
You're worried about that, aren't you?
I am. There he goes. He's going to move him a little bit.
So Munasinghe will continue with his 3rd over from this southern end or change room's end. A slower delivery that's kept out comfortably by Afzal Sadiq.
See if the young man can maintain his consistency, his pace, his movement. It's hot out there.
Stifling. See, there's no breeze, and even though they're saying it's around 30, I think it's probably putting another 2 or 3 degrees on, and we're inland here at Naval Park North. Oh, he gets a top edge. First slip and the wicket keeper both fly. It did travel quickly. 3rd man was there to cut it off, and they get a run. He's practicing the shot. Afzal, but he survives. 2 for 9.
Yeah, cleared the first slip of the keeper, but only just. False stroke. Good speed. So that answers my question around can he maintain his pace, and yes he can.
They've taken Gully out, so they've now got a deep point, short cover, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket. Third man. Down the leg side. The 2 umpires look at each other. I think that must have brushed the pad or the thigh pad.
Yeah, the umpire at square leg is often the best to actually tell that. You know, he can see something flick, or so the communication between the umpires is really important too. They, of course, they look after. They're a partnership. They look after each other. The helicopter, mate. Is that the traffic helicopter there? You reckon?
Could be.
Looks like it might be.
On the way to see me after my poor driving. Taking you for a drive, Grant. I got you home safely. I know it was a bit hairy. I apologise for that. Here's Munasinghe. Short. Heffernan does well to fend away. Past Gully. And they just get 1. Good bowling, but he played it pretty well, Max. Good one, Max.
And it's a combination of they're going about this in a very steady way, a very measured way. They're playing each ball on their merits, and they're aware they just should not be losing any wickets. But haven't I enjoyed watching Nigel Munasinghe bowl?
Lively, isn't he?
And spirited. Watch him follow through. He'll get right underneath.
Short. Pulled away. 6. Got inside it. That's an outstanding cricket shot. Wonderful hook shot deep backward square. It ends up from Afzal.
Wasn't that a good shot? It was very short. and right in the hitting zone, but you've still got to hit them, and he did. He hit that absolutely beautifully.
Takes the pressure, 2 for 16. Near the end of the 5th over. Need another wicket here. Well, they need heaps of wickets, but they just need another one now just to ramp up the pressure. But they lost it, the ball. Welcome back, Suhas. I think we've lost a ball here, ending behind the scoreboard. And Nash has gone to fetch a new one. Well, we got it, have we? We found it. That's good. That 6 has just taken the pressure off a bit. And they've still got the gully in place and the short cover, which hasn't really come into play yet. It just looks a little bit crestfallen, Munasinghe, who's bowling a lot of verve and vitality and vim, just with that short ball, which resulted in that terrifically hooked 6 by Afzal Sadiq. 2 for 16, the target 48. One ball remaining in the 5th over off 91 deliveries. Munasinghe again, and it's driven.
It's that time of
No run.
It's that time of play where the run-ups will get longer and the follow-through will also get longer. The stairs will get longer. That's semi-final for you. 16 for 2.
Both openers gone. Talar for 1. Farouk for 1. 2 good catches taken, and the Lankans have got to be fielding as well as the Sultans were able to early days. The problem is, though, they've already had their innings for Lankan Lions, and they don't have that many runs to play with. So into the 6th over, and Seagerwin will continue. Took that very good catch down on the boundary. It was a good hook shot, but
That
picked
was
out him.
a very good shot because he picked up the length early and the pace was already provided. Wasn't too far away from the hitting arc as well for him,
Yes.
as it was towards the body.
Beautiful play to watch. Farouk.
Sal Sadiq, you remember those big hits in Noosa.
Here's Heffernan, hit on the pad.
You look at the Pakistani Sultans side and the kind of cricketers they have, they can bat anywhere they want. It's much like the Indian Tigers side. Yesterday, you saw Saksham come in late, probably as a finisher, usually bats number 4. Just tells you the flexibility that these under-19 sides have with each other to promote the right kind of talent and also groom other talent by putting them in situations which they need to face. Slip in place, gully in place. Is there magic in the offing? Looking a little more comfortable now, Max Heffernan. Is it the 14 balls factor? Is it the 15 balls factor here for Max Heffernan?
Well, it might be. I mean, he's been there a little while. We saw that with Munasinghe, didn't we? I know that damage had been done by then. He faced a lot of deliveries, but every ball he faced, he looked more comfortable. He was risk adverse, which he needed to be, just to try and get them as deep as they could with their batting.
Brilliantly driven. No chance for anyone whatsoever. Max Heffernan waited and waited, and one was in his slot. Didn't miss out at all. That's his first boundary.
2 for 20 now. Beautiful shot. Reach forward a little bit. It was down on one knee again.
You've got to admire the fact that Max Heffernan has shown great patience and also shown great courage. There was a time when the pacers were making the batters dance. Now that is reduced a little bit because the batters have got set. Yes, being more watchful here.
They took short cover out, and that's where Heffernan drove that ball for the boundary, and then Sujan, the captain, has decided, I'll put myself in there, and often it's after the horse has bolted.
The Lankan Lions have no other option but to be relentless. Yes, they have managed to strangle opponents when they're defending totals, but now the cushion is very much depleted. The margin of error very, very diminished. Slip in place, gully in place. The ball's still moving, but the batter is looking more comfortable.
He's been okay batting at the top order, Heffernan. Very handy partnership with Reynard Farouk in the opening game on Monday when they easily passed a competitive score of the Kangaroos of 128, just one down.
In the 41 balls play that we've seen so far, .35 rather. Now, that single will go without resistance. The single's taken 21 for 2 at the end of 6. Now, in the 36 ball play that we've seen so far, I thought what the Lankan Lions have done well is to reduce the number of singles taken.
Absolutely.
They've offered the license to the batters, saying if you want runs, go for the bigger denominations, take that additional bit of risk, throw your bat at it, which now these two batters are very gleefully accepting because they are well set.
It's just fascinating what would have been said about how they play this when you've got so little runs to defend.
Hey, it was a procession, wasn't it?
Oh. Well, I've never seen the dismissals. I told you, I think, the back of the box there, that I've seen a lot of collapses in cricket.
Right.
First class cricket, especially the longer form of the game. I was a young boy, 7 years old, and I saw Victoria with a new team in 9 for 44. Dennis Willie ripped through them. Alan Hurst said, I'm not batting on that.
You have an eidetic memory, don't you?
And I've never seen anything like that. The 36 that India made. Thank you for your kind words, by the way. Australia was 6 for 26 in a test match against England.
Yeah.
But in a T20 match, I mean, we saw what Sydney Thunder did in one of the games. They got winkled out very quickly, but there were catches behind. These were run-outs. These were dismissals that probably could have been avoided.
When that game was going on, what are the odds? We were all in Australia. I was back here, and
yes,
we had the ACL going on as well during that time.
Yeah, we did. New bowler.
It's good fun, isn't it? Watching the ACL, being a part of it in the morning, and then watching the BBL at night.
Aricic, who made the most runs with the bat, second highest score behind extras, 13, involved in a handy partnership in the end to get them past 50, to get them past 60 with Munasinghe. Virosh.
Getting into double figures became a reason to celebrate when the Lankan Lions had the bat in hand. Now that is not a delivery you'd want to repeat, because that's an easy single. Pakistani Sultans, all they need to do is search for those singles right now. And when the opportunity presents itself, latch on to the ball, get that boundary. And that's how you can make this total look very, very simple. 43 and 83, a lot of time left. It's a semi-final. They're not playing here for the net run rate. They can consume up to 83 balls to get there if they want to. But they don't want to leave it that far. They don't want to make it too close for comfort.
With all the wickets in hand, and if this continues for another few overs, you could see them getting the runs pretty quickly, I reckon.
I think it's just another way of saying, oh well, this will land safely, no problem. And it's a single. Good work by the skipper. Gets rid of the ball very quickly, and also chose the right end to throw at. Usually you're tempted to throw at the striker's end because that's where the keeper with the gloves is sitting. But excellent work by the skipper.
I thought they were a good chance of getting 2 and probably should have got 2, but then again the fielding was really good from their skipper.
This is what I'm mentioning, Dan, that in other grounds it could have been 4. The outfield is slow, especially in that region. He's reduced it down to a single. Just understand the magnitude of that being a single and not a boundary early on in the over. And when you're defending a small total, these are the things that add up. The slip still stays. I think that slip fielder is not there because the ball is still swinging. The slip fielder is there as
Pressure.
And oh no, with a slip in place you can't be bowling there. That's easy pickings for Max Heffernan. He will play that every day of the week.
Especially with third man very square, and you get one on your legs like that. That's money for jam from a Latin teacher again, Suhas, and
Yes.
he just puts it away off the pads. So it's now under 40. In the 7th over, the required target.
That's much better.
Yeah,
That's the
good.
line that he needs to stick to, with the ever so shrinking margin of making a mistake. Dot delivery to end the over with still 6 runs achieved, and that's a plenty for the Pakistani Sultans. 7 gone, 27 for 2.
Full credit to the Sultans, Suhas. They put behind the disappointment of losing that game last night, where they may have made a mistake. I spoke to their skipper, who I met a couple of years ago in Noosa. Good to see him again.
Abdul Rafi, what a character, isn't he?
Yeah, Abdul's a beauty. And he said, well, we thought it was the right thing to do to bring Ali back on. We didn't bowl to his field. He allowed them to get underneath him and whack him for 6, including little Saxon, who's knee-high to a grasshopper, 11 off 4. I thought, gee. And then he was standing next to his mate Hardy, and I said, do your parents have to fill your fridge every 5 minutes? He's a big boy. Lovely young men. It was great having a chat to them all. Very respectful, very friendly, and they just love cricket.
Yes, it's the love for the sport that unites us
Yes.
all here at the ACL Under 19. Thanks to Harry for this brilliant initiative. It brings a carnival with itself, doesn't it? It's not just a tournament, it's become a carnival of late.
And the boys love it.
And I also like the fact that it's filling the gap with age group cricket. When you tap into the right talent at under 19 level, identification becomes easy, then fast tracking becomes easy. Look at Will Busisto.
Still playing.
Look at Jake
isn't he?
Smith. Some of the finds of the tournament. Oh, not too far away from the slip fielder, but that'll trickle for 4. The risk factor is not something required here for the Pakistani Sultans, but a boundary, they'll take it.
Now, Grant has mentioned when they've had the slip in place, should he be more of a wandering split, as Jim Maxwell's always said, 3rd or 4th? Now, it was travelling. Do you think if Lenny Wilton was in that position, he might have been able to hang on to that? It would have been a screamer.
Absolutely, but that's in hindsight. In hindsight,
Yeah.
that theory, I don't know. I haven't got enough of a sample size to tell you in black and white, yes or no.
Two for 33. You've got to remember, 2 of these young men, a lot of them have got club cricket, whether it be Premier Cricket or suburban cricket finals. A lot of them starting tomorrow or continuing tomorrow. In some comps, it's the last round of the season. So they keep going.
They just needed a period of calm here, Pakistani Sultans, and that's what they've got with this partnership that's brimming. It's not a big total that they're chasing. That's exactly why one good partnership and it's done and dusted for them. They would have won the game. Right on track with the required rate, just 2.6. Went through with a shot. Very wide, long on, no chance of getting there. This is lovely batting from Afzal Sadiq. And this is what he can do once he regains control.
He can take a game away quickly, can't he? Or he can bring his team back into it. He did the latter yesterday when the spinners had tied them up in knots from the Indian Tigers against the Sultans after that great opening stand between Talar and Farouk, and then he made 18 very quickly, and now he's trying to get the job done here.
Someone give that bat a sticker. Someone give that bat a sticker. It's coming very soon. One more innings of this kind maybe. Excellent shot making.
So only...
Good to compensate for that outside edge. 8 overs gone, 35 for 2.
29 needed in 12 overs, so 2.4. And Afzal Sadiq 16 off 13, Max Heffernan 13 off 24. And obviously running out of runs, maybe ideas, but I like their little captain at Sri Lanka because he's, I reckon, always thinking, always trying to be positive.
Did you just call him the little captain?
Well, he is, yes.
You're referring to the height, is it?
Yes.
Little captain.
Big in spirit, big in mind.
100%. Skipper's commanding respect as well from the side, the way he's led the team thus far. Aplomb is the word.
Now, the better word to describe someone who's not tall, probably in this situation, more descriptive, is diminutive. Better than little. Apologise to Sujan for that. So a slip and a gully still there. Not sure they need to keep employing the slip. They're not really getting the edges now. 29 needed.
Again, it's that length. Every time, more than the length, that line, correction. The leg stump line has been bowled and easy singles available. Be it to the righty, be it to the lefty. That's also because Sujan is trusting his bowler to bowl in the corridor of uncertainty because the field is set accordingly. If you stray down the leg side as a bowler, even a little bit, these are mistakes that might not be corrected later on. And these are mistakes that might fly under the radar in a game where you got that much cushion. Here, every run must be made a struggle for the opposition, and he knows that. Sujan, you could see how active he is in placing the field every single ball. The righty-lefty combination is not helping the scurrying of the fielders either. They've got to do that. Now, fine leg in place. There's a man at catching position inside the 30-yard circle at short cover. Sujan's instructed his boys to be at least 10 yards inside the 30-yard circle. Wonderfully played, but excellent work. He's saved at least a couple of runs.
Yes, well, they've taken Wilton out of slip, and generally they've had that short cover in place for most of the innings, the Lions.
These two put together have played 40 deliveries and so understand the pitch to some extent. A wicket has to fall at this stage to open this game up, otherwise it could be one-way traffic, and Pakistani Sultans love one-way traffic because they are in control.
90-10 the win viz for what it's worth. Favour of the
the win viz, we almost forgot.
I know, I was just going to bring it out when required and when the great man wasn't expecting it.
Well done, Mr. Thomas Lonergan.
My father was christened Thomas Gerard, but he hung around with a whole lot of Englishmen in the early 60s, and he changed his name to Jerry because one of the men was Thomas, because his mother wanted to call him Gerard. He's the youngest of 8 sisters and then him, but being the first son, they were generally called Thomas in those days back in the 30s in Ireland. Bit of miscellaneous information for you, Suhas, and I'm sure our audience has turned off after that.
I was trying my level best to tie it to the game that we have over here. I just couldn't.
Well, maybe we need to know there are a lot of players out there, obviously of subcontinental background, whether, and again this is coming from someone who doesn't know but would love to learn, whether if you are the oldest son in the family, is there a certain name that you are given, depending on where you're from or where your family's from, as we have a wide here.
It's again the line that will hurt Sujan more. It's the line.
I have a feeling you don't know the answer to that.
Come again?
You don't have an answer to whether
Whether?
if you are Indian
Yeah.
background, Pakistani background, Afghan background, if you are the older son,
Mm-hmm.
are you given the name of your father, or is there a name that they generally give, a bit like Thomas in Ireland? I think it's changed now.
Wasn't too far away from the fielder as well, but that'll go down as half an opportunity. 2 more runs taken. Good running. There was Sujan, the skipper, sandwiched between the runner coming in and the umpire. Collects the throw nonetheless. We'll keep the chat alive, Dan. Don't worry about it.
I think the issue just back here is that they're just starting to lose their confidence, which means that their bowling is beginning to be a bit leg side, and allowing especially Heffernan, good leg side player, being the left-hander, to open up with his array of strokes on that side of the wicket.
Yeah, 9 overs later, 40 for 2. The answer to that is, if I may break down depending on the country itself, I know
Yes.
about India for sure. In major parts of the country, it's your father's name that follows your first name, that is your name.
Right.
And in some parts of the country, especially from where I come from, it's your father's name that is put first as an initial and then your name.
You see in America a lot that a son is born and he's named after his father, especially if he's the first son.
Oh, very well played. Will be 4. He knew exactly where he was hitting it. Afzal Sadiq, who's now making it very difficult for Sujan to set a field because he is so great on both sides of the wicket.
Too short there from Sridhar, and able to dissect the 2 fielders out in the deep, but deep forward square leg and squarish fine leg. It's called picking the gap expertly. Just 20 needed now.
Pressure on Krishna. First ball disappears for 4. This one might be even bigger. 6 it is. The region doesn't change, the result does. Sadiq picks up the length so very well. Is this the innings that was required to put his team in the grand finale?
To me, it looked like he topped it, but he got enough of it because it's a reasonably short side of the wicket. He got enough of it. I'm thinking to myself, it might hold up here. Could the fielder at deep mid-wicket take it? But it sailed over his head by about 10 or 15 metres. So the answer to that was no.
He was 50 comes up as well for his side. Afzal Sadiq 27 of 16 personally.
Valuable contributions from Azal throughout this tournament. Bowled well yesterday.
Just the character that he is. He's come out with a very clear mind. Kudos to the team management.
Oh, he wants to finish this quickly. Look at that. That is a monster. Probably the biggest hit we've had in the tournament. Now, that might have gone all the way to the Southeastern Freeway, which is just down the hill from Police Road, which isn't that far away from where this ground is.
Krishna Sridhar is still searching for the next breath because this is amazing. 4, 6 and 6, and this was the most authoritative of all. The regions that he's chosen to hit, the biggies especially, is not void of fielders. He's removed them out of the equation with some magnificent hitting. Someone give that bat a sticker.
Talking of hitting it out of the screws, that was right out of the screws. Beautiful shot.
Everything's going right, and Max Heffernan has decided to teach Afzal how to play the scoop.
I wouldn't worry about that. If you can hit the ball like that and clear the fence and clear the ground and clear the freeway and clear Melbourne, as I reckon he's just done with that last shot. Set it up to where my family lives in Kyneton, halfway to Bendigo. That's how far that shot went. That was a beautiful.
Retrieve that? We've retrieved the same ball, but how did we retrieve that? I thought it would have landed up in one of the houses.
Yeah, that was a great hit, clean hit. I think the biggest hit of the tournament so far.
In India, when you hit a cricket ball, I'll give you a line, all right? You can learn that, and so that when you come to India, you can use that to retrieve a cricket ball. It's called Auntie Ball De Do.
Auntie Ball Little.
Ball De Do.
Ball Diddle. With
no,
a D in it, is it?
It's D-O-D-O, D-E-D-O. De Do.
Diddle.
De Dijiye please will be better, but De Do would work for you, don't worry.
Yes, when I try and speak other languages. I've got a very strong Australian accent, so please forgive me. Oh, you know that. I tried to speak French wide here when I was over in Paris to order some coffee, and you should have heard it. You would have laughed your head off. Le café, le lou. Obviously, cafe is coffee, le lou is milk.
Thanks for breaking that down. Actually,
Yes.
I didn't understand that
No, of course you
because of
wouldn't.
the accent.
But then they will talk English because
no
you're trying
disrespect
to
to the
do it.
etymology of the word, but
Yes,
the accent, I tell you.
hopeless from me.
This is good. And just when everyone was looking leg side, the next 6 comes from Afzal's bat towards the off. And all those shots are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, they've lost their confidence. The issue with Krishna at the moment now is he's bowling length balls, and Afzal Sadiq is seeing them like medicine balls. He's getting underneath it. He'll either slice it over the offside or he will swing lustily on the onside, connecting with everything. 39 off 19. What a lovely innings this has been. To put it beyond doubt, scores are level. They're about to go into a final. The Sultans on Monday.
Wanted to finish it off in some style, gave it the full throttle. Not from the best part of the bat, but he's got immense confidence. Afzal Sadiq maybe will finish with a star alongside his name, and that will give him a lot of confidence too for the next game. 63 for 2 at the halfway mark, but I don't think this game is going the distance. It scores 11.
Can they take much out of this game at all, the Lankan Lions? They've got it to halfway with the ball. They've got a couple of wickets early.
The Lankan Lions, for the fight that they've shown throughout the tournament, they'll be mighty proud of that. One bad day that can happen to any team, and much like it's happened to Sri Lanka itself, the senior side, it's happened to the junior side too.
Oh, they've had 4 subpar days with the bat. No one's got more than 30.
What we would have
innings.
liked to see, however, was a fight. And as you very rightly pointed out, Dan, that so many times the batters did not live up to the mark, but the bowlers fought through and gave them opportunities to stay alive in the tournament.
Avasakara might be finished, but it's not. Heffernan misses. So they've gone for an interesting field here. There's a slip and very short cover, and Lenny Wilton's in at short mid wicket.
All fielders are trying to stop the one, and that's exactly why Max Heffernan will now think of a bigger denomination to finish this off. Half an over done and dusted with. Max Heffernan knows that he is standing on the cusp of a very good win. Should be gone.
Oh,
We're not void of drama, and the appeal is extended.
good bowling. He drew him, didn't he, to come down the wicket by sort of bowling it flat, as you can see with the replay, and took a bit of turn, tossing it outside that off stump, which went further with the turn. And well done by Avasakara, and they just continue to keep fighting, even though, of course, scores are level. They could still somehow get a super over here if they get 7 for none.
Yes,
But
Dan.
my win viz is telling me that the chance of that happening is 100 to 0 against.
You're selling the Winvis for subscription model, or you're putting up a sale? How's the Winvis working?
Well, I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, please do decide. that.
I might need an investor because I'm not a very canny businessman. Yeah, well, I am doing that.
I'm not
Grant
very
said
surprised that
something
the
about a
Winvis is
license.
for sale, but I'll be very surprised by the people who buy it, so I would want to have a chat with them.
Oh, I don't think that could see me coming. I've got a very good head for radio, as you know.
Yeah.
They'd see me coming and think, no, thank you very much.
Yeah. The precision of the Winvis is never a question, right?
Well, it's my precision. so I can decide what precision it is.
Have you got a snicko up your sleeve?
Haven't got the snicko.
Okay.
I'm designing a different one.
Does the DRS stand for D in the DRS stand for Dan?
It does.
Okay.
I've been looking at Peyton. I've been watching a lot of Shark Tank lately, and the P word's mentioned a lot.
Okay. The appeal's an afterthought, and they know the keeper joins the chorus because the bowler shouldn't feel bad.
Have you heard of Shark Tank?
Of course I have.
Yes. Huge show in America. Developing in Australia, but not at the same level.
It's a game changer in India, I tell you. He's bowled some terrific deliveries, one that will prepare him for the season ahead. Aaron Abesekara, a wicket maiden at a time when the scores are level. You're never short of drama in Aussie Cricket League under-19. 63 for 3 with a run required to put them in the finale. Pakistani Sultans.
Good on him. That was terrific over. He just kept at it. He said, well, they've only got one to get, but I'm going to make it as hard as possible, and he got a wicket as well. So well done. Lenny Wilton will finish things off here. Just hasn't quite got going with the bat, Lenny, in this tournament. Good to catch up with his dad, I know from the LePage Park Cricket Club down near Cheltenham in the southern suburbs. Suhasa's got to get ready for the presentation. Grant and I suppose, going to have a bit of a chat about the end of this game and what lies ahead with the big one between India, or the other big one in the semi-finals. They're all big now, India and Afghanistan. The Eagles up against the Tigers for a spot in the final. Scores level. Oh, Lenny Wilton's dropped it. Driving down the ground, Afzal Sadiq, and Lenny Wilton has attempted to take a catch off his own bowling, and they get the runners that ricochets away to mid-off. A dramatic match comes to an end at the start of the 12th over, with the Sultans winning by 7 wickets after an extraordinary batting display by Sri Lanka. A wonderful fielding and batting performance by the Sultans puts them, Grant O'Hara, in the final on Monday.
And well deserved. They've been a very good side all tournament, and 64 runs was never going to be enough. Even Dan had written visit 100-0 early on, but they fought hard. The Lankans, they should be proud of themselves in terms of the way they fought in the field. They didn't stop trying. They knew they were defending a very low total, but they've been a really good bowling and fielding side all tournament, and that didn't desert them. But there was some really funny decisions made from the batting group, not the least being, meandering down the wicket once you've hit the shot and then getting run out and shot straight to the fielders. And what did you make of it all, Dan?
Well, they were just off their game mentally, weren't they? And I think that happened. That run out probably happened because they were worried about how things were going, and you're thinking, what if this happens? What if I go out? Instead of maybe trying to stay positive, they lost 3 or 4 wickets by then. It was early days, and the waft down the leg side for the caught behind by the wicket keeper. Just a lot of things went wrong with the bat. They tried hard in the field, but look, they needed at least another 30 or 40 at least to have any chance.
So we've got our finalist, our first finalist, the Pakistan Sultans. Will go into the final on Monday, and we'll now see who they will be up against. The next semi-final 2, the Indian Tigers versus the Afghan Eagles. Who are you looking to go for there, Dan?
I think Indian Tigers, the Afghanistan Eagles have some good players. I think they rely a lot on Jude Owen, and they also rely a lot on Safi, who's a terrific bowler. They just need more players to step up. Their batting fell away badly after Jude Owen got going the other day, and they don't need to worry about net run rate now. They just need to play every ball on its merits. But great until the very end yesterday in regard to chasing down 110 in that truncated game, but I'll go for India, and I tell you what, it'll be a dream matchup if we get Pakistan and India. But if Afghanistan Eagles get there, Grant, they'll deserve to get there, and would love having them in the final as well.
And there's the match summary. After 14.5 overs, the Lankan Lions all out for 63. The top score was the lower order batter, Virosh, 14 off 21, and then the Sultans in reply, 3 for 62 and did an 11.1. Very impressed with Munasinghe, the bowling, 1 for 11, and Crandall Singleton took both a great catch and has some really great figures there.
Impressed with Abdul Rafi, bowling for the first time in the tournament, 2 for 15. That'll give them confidence for the final for Monday, the skipper. And Afzal Sadiq made 40 off 21 at the end, and some lusty blows as well. And he'll also go into the final knowing that he can finish things off if required, if needed, if the final's tight. Max Heavenen's got some runs. He would be disappointed to be stumped when scores were level, but good performance by Pakistan, and they'd be delighted with the way they played. And now we'll see what happens between the Lions and the Eagles. You like the Lions, do you, Grant?
Yeah, I do.
The Tigers, I mean, sorry.
Tigers, sorry, yeah. Jake Smith is a big out for the Afghan Eagles. He's had to go back to his club.
Yes.
Clubland. He's got semi-finals on the weekend, and then and he was probably the player of the under-19 tournament last year, so that's a big up, but I'll replace him, and I no doubt the person that comes in will do a really good job. Really looking forward. There was a terrific opening stand by
Jude Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Yeah.
Who 46 off about 15 deliveries, didn't he, Dan?
Correct.
And just caught on the boundary going for another 6, and that would have had him the fastest 50 in ACL under 19. Just got caught on the boundary, but didn't he?
They don't need to go as quickly as they did in that game, unless, of course, they are batting second and chasing a big score, because, of course, that was all about net run rate. And as their owner, Khalil, said to me, he said every other player then got caught up in that and thought, well, if Jude's done it, the rest of us have to do it. So I'm sure they'll go about it a bit differently today. What would you do if you won the toss? Would you bat or bowl first? It didn't work for the Lankan Lions, did it?
Look, the wicket's playing really well, so I'm not making my decision based on the wicket. I'm probably making my decision based on ourselves. You know, what have we done well so far? What's going to give us the best advantage? Clearly we thought that the Sri Lankan side were a better bowling and fielding side, and that was certainly proved to be the case again. So what's been successful for us so far in this tournament? What am I going to do to give my team my best advantage? I think you're probably chasing. That's just my gut feel.
India have chased 3 times.
Yes.
Won 3 times.
Yes.
The third one was the one where they just got over the line. The other 2 they won comfortably. I think that if the Leopards get another 20 or 30, of which at one stage they were 6 for 108 in the opening game and then lost 4 for 7, they might have been in a bit of trouble. I don't think they batted all that well, the Tigers, in the opening game. But anyway, we'll wait and see. We'll take a break and get back for the final game today, the second semi-final, and then of course the big final on Monday. But Pakistan Sultan fans, you'd be delighted. You're into the ACL under-19 final, and you play the winner of the second semi between the Afghanistan Eagles and the Indian Tigers, starting very shortly.
उसके बाद मुझे लेफ्ट में मूव करना है ठीक Pakistani Sultans all the way. Hello and welcome to the post-match presentation, ACL Under 19, and we have our first finalist. That is Pakistani Sultans. They were steamrolling the opposition today, the Lankan Lions, who will take great heart in reaching thus far with some good performances. But on the big day, the Sultans rule indeed. It's only right to thank our sponsors who made it possible for us to have ACL Under 19 in 2025. Tag Real Estate Victoria, a big thank you to Tag Real Estate Victoria and Exclusive Immigration. Without further ado, let's talk to the captain who came second, the Lankan Lions skipper, Sujan. Sujan, tough luck, but the runs weren't enough and it was a procession.
Yeah, just not enough on the board. If we had like 110, 120, we could have defended it. But
Once you had the early collapse with 3 wickets down, 4 wickets down, what was the chatter in the dugout? Because did you wait for a circuit breaker so that you can stabilize the innings once again, then bat through the 20 overs?
we just wanted to consolidate for the wickets, so we just wanted to get singles, twos, just build a partnership, and then later on have big hitters like Crandall and them to go for it in the end. But just didn't work our way. We just made silly mistakes, but that happens. We'll learn from it.
Yes, you will. And if you want to talk about your progression thus far in the tournament, it's been a great tournament for you, a big learning curve for so many young boys, and what an opportunity in the ACL Under 19.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I love playing with these boys. They've just a good bunch of boys. They've all got great talent and should go really far. So happy to play with them and in this competition.
Finally, do you have a word or two about the support staff and the support that they've given you in not just reaching this far, but also making you better cricketers and better human beings?
Yeah, Barty, coach, he's done us a great help. He's just always giving us tips, and yeah, also the parents for coming down every game. They've just helped us a lot, just motivated us every game. So
Sujan, you've been an excellent leader as well. All the very best for the next tournament, wherever you're playing and featuring.
thank you.
The Lankan Lions bid goodbye today, but wasn't he excellent as a skipper, Sujan? Now let's speak to the winning skipper, Abdul Rafe of Pakistani Sultans. Congratulations on reaching the grand finale now. One trophy is with you. This is a near perfect game. Did you expect this kind before? You're not tested enough in this one. We would have liked more of a challenge.
No, definitely not. We obviously thought there would be a bit more of a challenge, but that doesn't take away from how well they bowled at the start. Obviously, a lot of pressure in the camp early on as well. Yep.
Whose decision was it to send Afzal up top? Because that changed the game drastically.
Well, it wasn't really a decision of Afzal. That's where he was batting from the start of the tournament, I think. But no, we know what he can do. We know how good he is, right? We know he can hit a long ball. And in that situation, it was either you pack up shop, try and take it to the 18th, 19th over, or you try and get a move on and obviously get more momentum your way. And
all right, so you didn't want to leave it too close for comfort anyway. A word on your fielding. The fielders were buzzing. Is this the kind of fielding effort that you expect from your side every time?
Yeah, of course. They were really good. I think 2 direct hits and 2 run-outs. Yeah, you can't ask for much more. I think going into the game, a T20 game, you want 1 run-out, but to get 4 is amazing.
Congratulations on reaching the finale now. All the best for the final hurdle.
Thank you so much.
Abdul Rafe, the winning skipper. I request the presence of Mr. Aman Sandhu to give away the silverware, the player of the match. And it has to be only one man. 40 runs with a bat and a wicket up top when he had the ball in hand. Where are you hiding, Afzal? Afzal Sadiq, the player of the match in the semi-final. Superb performance. There were a couple of wickets that fell, but then he said, what the fuss about? Afzal, behtering performance. Where do you rank this particular performance of yours? Because we all knew that you can hit those towering sixes.
पहले तो मैं अल्लाह का शुक्र अदा करता हूँ कि हम फाइनल में पहुँचे for the first time in under-19 ACL. And then like amazing feeling, like couldn't ask better than this. It's a complete team effort to secure another win. So like amazing.
Do you have an injury update for us, or there is no injury at all? Because it didn't seem like you didn't have to worry at all. The ball's coming out of the hand nicely.
No, it's still injury. I'm getting surgery soon. Like I'm still sore. I'm just icing it every night and in morning, so it's better.
You're someone who understands the culture of Aussie Cricket League under 19 because it's not the first time you're featuring in there. Did that help, all that confidence and all the experimentation that you've done before a game of this kind and featuring in this?
Yeah, it does help a lot. Like I'm playing ACL from like this is almost 4 years, seniors and the juniors both. So yeah, it helps a lot.
If a little bit of ice can bring good trophies like this, then keep collecting them. Congratulations on a superb performance. All the very best for the grand finale.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
All-round performance from Afzal Sadiq, and that's what puts the Pakistani Sultans in the grand finale. That's all we've got for you from the post-match presentation. The second semi-final will be there very soon with you, but for that, you need to wait a little bit more, so see you then.